Hey, what's up guys? It's Colby Cheese again with another League of Legends tutorial and montage video. Today I'm going to be playing my boy Sion. Sporting 1-1 AP ratios on both of his damaging abilities, as well as the longest non-ultimate stun in the game, make him one of the most terrifying burst nukers in the game. Definitely do not get caught out of position with a Sion around, or you are going to be in a world of hurt. As you can see there, Cassidy gets taken out after being just a bit too greedy trying to go for Argena, and I show him the true meaning of pain. Now, Sion does have a few mana issues that you do need to address. His Q takes a lot of mana, especially if you're going to be using your other abilities. So a lot of times you can actually find yourself in the position where you've just used your abilities once or twice and you're already out of mana, and therefore you need to really choose when you want to go all out on your enemies quite wisely. Now here, I'm towards the end of the game. I've got a Lich Bane built up and a blue buff, so it's not too big of a deal. And as you can see, I'm just running around nuking the crap out of everybody, and they're just way too afraid to get anywhere near me. So the funny thing about this game is that I had a very terrible early game, giving away first blood to Shaco and getting out farmed in my lane by the Kassadin. However, the thing is with Sion, all you gotta do is just build those core items and you become such a wrecking train. Watch this Tristana, bam, she just gets completely melted. Anyways, I was able to really help the team come back with just one or two team fights, just melting their squishies. And there goes Cassidy, just flashback into him, he's done. That Shaco's gonna die too because Ashe has got him in her sights. Boop, he's dead. So yeah. The massive burst nuking capability of Sion is what I truly love about him.
What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What the fuck?
Yeah, so let's roll right up into Sion's abilities. Right away we got his Q, which is Cryptic Gaze. It's a 2-second stun with a 1-1 AP ratio. Definitely one of your nastiest nukes in the game. Gonna want to conserve your mana on this, but it's great for catching people and locking them down while your teammate kill them, or so that you can just do enough damage to finish them off yourself. Here you can see we actually caught the Shaco in the jungle. My stun was able to hold them down just long enough for us to do the damage necessary to take him out. Next you got Death's Caress, which is his shield. It actually surrounds himself with a damage absorbing shield, so if you don't get that shield broken, then you will actually deal a massive amount of damage and another 1-1 AP nuke to the enemies. Now if they do break that shield, then it won't do any damage at all, so you have to be careful of that. The cool thing is that you can actually pop it on your own after 4 seconds, and this is going to be your main source of farming creeps once you get, you know, later on in the game. And you don't even need that much AP to take out creeps, probably just a blasting wand or a needlessly large rod. But the next one you got is your Enrage. It's actually a passive that you're going to turn on as soon as you get it, and every time you kill a creep you're going to get HP. So this is what allows you to become a tank without actually building any health items, and it also gives you tons of extra just passive attack damage as well. So you're going to be hitting extremely hard even without any attack damage items. And then finally, you've got your ultimate Cannibalism. On AP Sion, it's not that big of a deal. The main thing you're going to use it for is attacking those towers quickly, taking them out. You can also do quite a large amount of healing to yourself, especially once you get like a Lich Bane built up and you do a giant attack with that Lich Bane. You'll heal for around 300 or so. So it will keep you alive in some tough situations. Definitely pop it anytime you go into a team fight. And of course, with just one creep wave, I'm here about level 11 or so, and I'm able to take out this tower just with my ultimate. And as you can see, just as the last creep dies, I'm able to finish off that tower. Taking a look at the runes, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. However, I prefer to go straight flat AP runes for your quints, mana regen on your yellows, magic pin for your reds, and a little bit of cooldown reduction on your blues to get that stun up as quick as possible. You'll be doing the standard setup on your masteries. Just pick up 9-0-21, take those reduced cooldowns, improve flash, and you'll be good to go. Now, as far as the build on Sion, it's generally going to be the same thing every game, at least for the core build. Just how you get there is what is important. So Let me just kind of take you through the stages of the game and at which point you're going to be getting the different items and how you need to react in order to farm up effectively as well as gank, etc. Usually you're going to want to solo top on Sion. You can also do solo mid, and you're even a great duo lane as well. However, for the most part, you will always be doing solo top. You're going to want to gauge the power of your opponent and see what kind of damage he can do to you. If he's able to pop your shield quite easily, then you're obviously going to need to stay back and be a little bit more careful whenever you do go up to try and farm your creep waves. Now, another thing, as you can see in this clip, is that a lot of people who are smart and play against Sion are actually going to jump at you right after your shield is done and try and do a lot of burst damage to you. So this is definitely a concern for Sion early game. Definitely going to want to be careful of that. I do have my lane quite pushed up here, and that's generally not a good idea. However, in this particular game, I knew that I was going to be safe from the jungle just due to the fact that the other person was quite a bit away from me. And the way you want to actually harass on Sion is, ideally, you don't want to have to pop your stun because it does cost so much mana. However, what you want to do is just get up and do a little bit of damage to the minions, so that whenever you do blast your shield, you'll be able to take all of the creep waves. The whole idea of Sion is being able to farm effectively. Generally, what I like to do with Sion is push the lane up and then go see if I can get some ganks off towards the middle or check on their jungle and that sort of thing. As you can see in the middle, the Tristana is actually pushing the middle quite a bit, so it would be a good idea to try and push my lane and then go down there and see if I can get a gank off on them as well. Now, right here, I'm just going to go ahead and keep on pushing the lane a little bit. There's not really any danger for me at this point in time, so I don't really have to worry about dying too much, because I do know that the jungler isn't anywhere around, and I do have that ward to keep me protected. I've kept my flash up, so I am trying to be wary of where the jungler is. At this point, the lane is pushed up, and I did just see that Shaco come around, so I'm going to go ahead and be out and buy a couple of items now that I have farmed up enough to afford that blasting wand. The first thing that you want to do when you go back is, if you can afford it, go ahead and grab a needlessly large rod. Otherwise, as in this case, go ahead and grab a blasting wand and your boots. And every time I go back, I do also like to get those health potions so that I can get a little bit of extra harass on the enemy, take some damage, and then be back to full health and have that advantage over them in the lane. One of the best ways to actually get ahead in a game is to do some effective ganking on the other lanes while you've got your lane pushed. And that way you can actually go get some kills, get that extra gold, and then run back right to your lane and continue farming as usual. This is where your summoner abilities are actually going to come into play. I always take Flash and Ignite on Sion, and here's one of the common ganks that I like to do. I'll run up to the Wraith camp, and the mid has no chance of getting away. What I'll do is flash over, stun him, do my burst, put an Ignite on him, and he's dead. This can also be accomplished from the side bush. You just have to make sure they're a little bit closer so that they don't flash away on their own. Now, I actually ran up to the middle in this clip, seeing that Kennen was going, and I knew that there was going to be a sure gank, and I wanted to get that double buff. So I run up, have my shield ready, go ahead and do the stun, pop my shield on him, doing tons of damage. There goes the Ignite. The Kennen does get the kill, which is fine. All's well that ends well. As the game progresses further, you're going to want to go ahead and keep on building up your core items, which is going to be the Death Cap into the Lich Bane, and if your game actually goes long enough, you can begin building resistance items. For me, I prefer to get the Abyssal Scepter, since it does give ability power, magic resist, and the magic pin that you definitely need. And if you need that armor, go ahead and get the other Zonya's defensive item that has the armor and that very nice active as well. Now, other than the general laning and ganking phase, you're going to want to make sure you do a couple things right in team fights. On this one here, you actually saw that I got caught by the Blitzcrank. Luckily, I was able to survive and go in, and I just waited for the right moment for Kassadin to jump in so that I can instantly gib him. And as you saw, I waited once again to go for Tristana, who is also just as squishy, and she does get just barely taken out with my Ignite, and then we're able to push that tower down to end it. So that out quite nicely for us. A common place for you to see a team fight is every time you go to the dragon. So what I like to do is just kind of wait around towards the back just a bit and wait for the squishy to get into a spot where I can grab him. So I'm going to go for the Cassidy, and he gets out just in time, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that Tristana. She gets taken out super quick, and I'm going to turn my sights towards that Shaco, but he looks like he blinked out. So there goes the Cassidy again. I'm going to try and flash up and catch him out of the spot, but somehow he was able to get his blink just in time. Not a big deal though, because he makes a mistake of going to the right into the team fight, trying to get some extra kills off, and we're able to take him out, as well as the Blitzcrank. The Shaco does get away, but it's not a big deal. We got that dragon and won a team fight. I pull up into this team fight just a little bit late, so I go ahead and stun that Warwick to keep him off of our team, get a little bit closer to the Zillion, taking him and the Warwick both out. Now we've won the team fight. They're trying to run and get away, but we're not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to get my stun off on this Urgot, and he is going to be melted completely. Bam! And we can easily push that tower now into their base now that we've got that ace. In this next fight, one of my teammates is just a bit out of position at the top, and Cassidy tries to do a little bit of pokey damage to him, but we're going to go ahead and engage on this fight here. Now, this time I'm actually going to wait to use my stun if I can. Well, I went and go ahead and use it on the tank. Not a big deal because that is such a short cooldown, but I will wait now until that Cassidy gets into my range, take him out super quick. He's not able to do anything in that fight, and he was the main source of damage. Now I'm going to go ahead and chase down that Warwick. He can't do anything as well. I've got lots and lots of cooldown reduction, so I'm able to pop that stun out extremely fast. I am slowed here, so I'm not able to get in the range to get the stun and finish off that fight. So that's it for that one. So other than having the right focus in team fights, the other thing you need to learn how to do is make the right choices with your mana. You don't always want to be blowing all of your spells every time they're up, otherwise you won't be any use to anyone because you're not going to be able to use that stun at the critical moment. Now, right here, I'm able to get a kill, and I'm thinking of going ahead and going back. However, I do see that a team fight is enveloping over just a little ways from me, so I'm going to try and wait back. I'm not going to start my shield because I want to have enough mana for that stun, so I'm going to save it just for that Warwick so that he's not able to get off a lot of damage and heal himself at the same time. And I'm just going to kind of walk in with my shield so that I don't get gibbed by that Urgot. Didn't really do me that much good because I wasn't able to do damage on him. He swapped out, was almost able to kill me, but I run to the bush. Not a big deal. I just barely get my mana for my stun, and that's able to grab us just one more kill. And I barely get out of there with just enough life. That's right, kids. You've seen how to play Sion. Now it's time to watch that Hiroshima. Boom! Damn, that was a lot of damage. Gotta love Sion, man. So here we go. This is a very early fight. Looks like this Ram has tried to taunt me out, and they're going to try and kill me with Corki here. I have just enough health with my passive to survive, and that tower takes out him. I get the first blood and double buff. Oh man, don't want to mess with me with double buff. Now I'm level 4. I'm going to be able to win that lane, no problem. Here we go. I'm going to come up here, do tons of damage. Look at that. Man, I was able to take him out with literally just 2 attacks. And, oh, wow. So here we go back into the lane against the Corki once again. And I'm just going to do a little bit of harass here while also farming the creeps. If you notice, I'm able to kill an entire creep wave and take him down below 50% HP. He's about 25% now. He gets his health back a little bit from this potion, but I am going to go ahead and charge up my shield and wait for him to get just a little bit too close. And there we go with the flash and come in. I kill all of the creeps, take the kill, and with the ignite, he cannot even jump out with a Valkyrie to escape. Now I'm going to come up here and gank. I was actually middle lane, and this Nidalee had no idea I was coming. She tries to flash out, but it's too late. I've already been able to stun her. She's going to try and run away and do as much healing as possible, but since I put an ignite on her, her heals are less effective, and one more stun, and she is no good. She's dead. So here we go. This Malphite, he's pretty tanky right now. It's going to be a little bit difficult to take him out. I'm only level 6, so I don't have a lot of items yet. I've only got my Doran's ring, but it looks like Alistar's going to come in here and try and finish him off. For some reason, though, I'm not paying attention, so I didn't even notice until too late, but oh, luckily for me, I'm able to put an ignite on him before he ults out, and that does finish up the kill. Yeehaw, baby. Alright, here we go. And Tristana's trying to come up here and do a little bit of damage to me. And a very nice Ash arrow. This is the old Ash right here, by the way. That has nothing to do with me. I'd have to give her props on that arrow. Very nice. And I was able to just kind of bait that out a little bit. Here we go to come up here, try and do a little bit of damage to the Nunu. I really doubt that it's a good idea to do that. And so here we go. Shin comes up to try and gank me. And I could probably just run away right here. But I do know that Ash is going to go ahead and shoot her arrow. So I stay in there. I pop my ultimate to try and heal as much as possible. Put down the ignite on Nunu so that he can't heal if he tries to use the creeps. And there we go. He's dead now. And we're going to keep this Shin slowed, and with my stun, he should be able to get taken out by that Ashe. That Ashe should be fine. Man, I was low health there, and I just barely made it out alive. That was really clutch. And once again, gonna go after this Nunu, and it looks like Tristana's gonna try and do as much damage as possible, but she's gonna be way out of position. She got really greedy trying to go in after that Ashe, and the Shin even comes in to help her out a little bit, but it's not gonna be enough. She's now out of mana, and she has no escape ability. She wasn't able to kill the Ashe, so I am able to take her out. Too bad for you, Tristana. And look at this, oh man, Nunu, he come out of the bush to try and do some damage onto the Ashe. Bad move on his part because I do a lot of damage. I've already got my death cap and my sorcerer boots. And by the way, I know in this video I say to get sorcerer boots, but I actually like movement speed 5 for ganking. Oh my goodness, look at all that damage. There goes Shongji, and he gets taken out. Oh wow, look at this arrow coming up from Ashe. She probably didn't even know what she was hitting with that, but the Sin is able to toss back Shin, and with my stun to keep him in place. Damn, he does not live for long. So I'm going to come right up here. Looks like this Tristana is dead, so that's not going to be me. Good stuff. This was a good game altogether. So I'm coming back around here for this Vigar. I do notice that he is close to his tower, and I am going to destroy him. He does get a lot of damage done to him by that Ashe, and I'm able to just come in there. I was stunned a bit, but all it took was my stun and a shield burst, and he's dead. Boom! Coming up behind this Tristana who's trying to farm. She is way overextended, and there's nothing she can do with the double stun and shield combo and an ignite. She gets taken out. Here you go. I'm actually really high level in this game. I'm already level 16, and I'm able to do a lot of damage to these towers. I was just farming bottom this whole game. It looks like there's two of them going to come up and try and stop me. And boom, my shield does so much damage to the Ashe. It just barely gets away with no HP. Lucky Ashe, and I'm getting stunned inside the tower. That's not good. My shield is probably just barely going to keep me alive. I turn around, knock off his shield before he's able to burst it on me. Pop my ultimate, just barely keep me alive. Look at my health, it's almost going down. It still like at like 2 HP. Yeah, it went down to 2 HP right there. But my auto attacks keep me just enough alive to finish both of them off. Wow, that was freaking crazy. All right, so moving on. Here we go, a team fight here. I'm going to go ahead and put a stun down on the Malphite. Not really the best target, but he was out in the open, and I was able to do a bit of harassment and poke damage. I've got enough mana at this point, and so it's not too big of a deal. I'm pretty late into the game. I've got a Death Cap and my Lich Bane, which is the pinnacle of damage for Sion. Oh, and looks like our Vladimir gets ulted on by that Warwick. Not a big deal. He's able to get out of there alive, and I'm just going to go in on this Zillion knowing that he either has to blow his ultimate on someone else or he will get taken out. I do actually finish him off very nicely, and his ultimate's on that Warwick, so I'm not even going to attack that Warwick while it ults up. It was completely wasted, and we were able to finish him off without that ultimate going off. Boom, get that Urgot down, and unfortunately for me though, this Kassadin is just a little bit too strong. He's pretty, yeah, he's pretty able to handle me at this point. But that's all for this video. Peace out, guys. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around and watching the video. Definitely subscribe up top, send your comments down below, add me on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to check out the website, ColbyCheese.com. And I'll see you guys around for the next one. Peace out.